This is not a video review, this is just a vlog. I just want to talk about the Creos. And actually, Creo comes from the Latin verb creo, creare, which means to create. With creo being first person active indicative, I create, and creare being to create. These things are pretty neat. I wasn't expecting to like them, especially after getting burned on BTRs a long time ago. But they actually work pretty well. They're basically just Lego sets, kind of based on the Technic sets with how, well, the Bionicle sets with how you have little cups that grab onto balls here. What's nice is that they grab onto these gray balls. These gray balls, they're not plastic like the rest of the piece. It's actually kind of rubbery plastic, so it's very tight, and I don't think it'll get loose anytime soon. And these things, while in concept and theory, they're like normal Legos, they're actually somewhat different. And the reason I say that is because with Legos, Lego tries to go for some amount of part economy. It tries not to have too many excess parts while still trying to make everything look as good as possible. These things, because each part has to do two things, have to be a robot and a car, well, you end up with a lot of extra pieces, and the way everything comes together is typically kind of convoluted because there will be so many things where it's like, well, I could have just put this here and it would have been simple, but yeah, you'd have parts left over in the end, because the entire point of these is that you have as few parts left over in the end as possible. Now, granted, you will have parts left over in the end, especially if you're not willing to, like, put the little heads back here, because there's basically no room for these heads when they're in car mode or vehicle mode. So it's not exact, but they do try. And one thing I do like about these is that they do come with pretty neat little heads. They're on ball joints. And I like these. I mean, I could see buying a couple of these just for the head so you could do some customs. Now, granted, they're very rubbery, which it doesn't limit their use, but it does. I wish they were hard plastic. Now, Prime is the best looking of them so far, and these are the tiny kits I have right here. Prime is the best of them so far that I've seen, because like Bumblebee here, he looks kind of G1-y, but also kind of animated-y, and I don't think the sculpt came out that well, but Prime basically looks like it's the same mold as from Classics Prime, and I like that. So, since these things are Lego, they do, well, they're basically Legos. They do come with instructions for like how to put them together into each mode. But if there's anything you don't like on them, you can just rearrange them and swap parts around. Like, for example, this Bumblebee here, I'm not following the directions for it. This is what Bumblebee looks like on the box. If you follow the directions, this is what my Bumblebee looks like. Mine has a far broader chest. Spare pieces make up a gun, and rather than having just little flat pieces with a round piece on the back of it, on the back of the hand, mine has a thumb and fingers. Crudely sculpted, of course, but it works. So, you do have quite a bit of variability with what you can do with these, and that's pretty nice. However, if you'll notice this Autobot symbol, this is a sticker. It stays on very well, but if you misapply it, you're not going to be able to get it off. Like, it's a little bit crooked here, and these up here are crooked. I was lucky I did the stripes properly, but do be careful when you're putting on the stickers. They're kind of mean. One thing that's quite nice about these guys is that, while they don't have the most posability, they are very stable. Like, super tight joints here and here. Quite a bit of heel, so it's not just going to go flying, and tight joints out like this and like this. Hits will turn. They're a pretty neat idea. I wish Hasbro had done them before. Now, what I wish more is that these things didn't have to be disassembled to transform between different modes, but that's wishing for a bit too much, I think. Now, the one thing I don't like about Prime here, which isn't a problem on Bumblebee, is that to transform into the robot mode, you actually have to remove the wheels from the pieces that they're on, which could eventually cause those pieces to break. Because, like, these are on pretty hard. But if you don't take them off, then the wheels don't end up where they need to on robot mode, because there are multiple wheel pieces, some meant for truck mode, some meant not. See, basically it's a plug joint here, a very thin one, that could conceivably break after a while. And you saw how much trouble I was having getting that off. They go on very tight. So, I do like Bumblebee better. And honestly, I said this wasn't going to be a review, and it's not, but I am sort of getting kind of reviewy with these. So I'm just going to end this here. I'll do a proper review of these later. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching.